I don't think we realize what the Kansas City Chiefs just did. So we're going to be going through that and 3 other stories in today's video. So make sure to like this video, and if you want more Kansas City Chiefs news content like this, make sure to subscribe to the channel by hitting that red button down below. The first story is Kansas City Chiefs set to visit star wide receiver for 2024 season. The Kansas City Chiefs are set to visit with a top wide receiver in this year's draft class. The Chiefs are in the midst of overhauling their wide receiver core as they compete for a three-peat. The Chiefs led the league in drops during the 2023 regular season. Rashee Rice was the lone Chiefs wide receiver who earned a starter job for the upcoming season. The rest of the roster there could look different. The Chiefs made a big free agency signing when they added Marquise Brown to the 2024 lineup. But the Chiefs can and should do more, especially for the long term. The Chiefs recently traded cornerback Lamarcus Sneed to the Tennessee Titans to clear up cap space. That could free up some cash to sign another veteran like Odell Beckham Jr. However, the Chiefs need to look at their long-term plan for pass catchers after the 2024 season. Patrick Mahomes might not have tight end Travis Kelce for the 2025 campaign. The Chiefs are expected to add a wide receiver in the draft. A recent draft mock has the Chiefs trading up to draft a wide receiver Mahomes has his eyes on, Texas prospect Xavier Worthy. Unfortunately for Kansas City, Worthy has plenty of suitors in the first round, including the Miami Dolphins and Dallas Cowboys. The Chiefs need a backup plan. According to Tony Pauline with Sportskeeda, the Chiefs are set to visit with UCF wide receiver Javon Baker, another pass catcher in this year's draft class. Baker played at Alabama for the 2020 and 2021 seasons before transferring to UFC. In the 2023 season, he earned first-team All-Big 12 honors. Baker finished his college career with 117 receptions for 2,051 yards and 13 touchdowns. The 6'1", 208-pound wide receiver is catching glances from a few receiver-needy teams like the Patriots. He could give Mahomes another option to throw to next season if they can't get to or pass on Worthy. Once the 2024 NFL season begins, the Kansas City Chiefs have the opportunity to do something that's never been done before: win 3 consecutive Super Bowls. The Chiefs have proven themselves to be the league's best team with back-to-back championship runs, but winning a 3rd title in a row would be something for the history books. The Chiefs have done everything in their power this offseason to prepare for a potential three-peat, from re-signing key defenders to giving Patrick Mahomes more weapons. At the same time, there's a reason why no other team has won 3 straight Super Bowls. It's that damn hard. In other words, you can't fault the Chiefs for looking to add even more reinforcements, which is exactly what Travis Kelce did on his latest podcast episode. On the latest episode of the New Heights podcast, Kelce did his best to recruit 3-time NFL Defensive Player of the Year Aaron Donald. The 32-year-old future Hall of Famer announced his retirement earlier this month after spending 10 productive seasons with the LA Rams. But even if the ink on Donald's retirement papers is still wet, Kelce didn't let that stop him from making a sales pitch. Upon congratulating the 10-time Pro Bowl defender, Kelce mentioned that Donald is free to join the Chiefs if he wants a shot at winning another Super Bowl ring. Shout out to AD, unbelievable career, brother. If you want to win one more Super Bowl, the Chiefs will probably have some availability somewhere in December, said Travis Kelce. It might be a long shot, but it's hard not to get excited about the possibility of Donald donning a Chiefs jersey. The 32-year-old is arguably the greatest defensive tackle of all time, highlighted by his 3 DPOY awards, 8 first-team All-Pro nods, and 10 Pro Bowl appearances over the last decade. The Chiefs boasted one of the NFL's best defenses last season, and the unit would only reach new heights with Donald in the fold. Even though his prime is in the rear view, the ex-Pittsburgh product still managed to record 28 solo tackles, 8 sacks, and 3 defended passes en route to finishing 9th in the 2023 Comeback Player of the Year voting. Having said that, it's going to take a lot more than a podcast plea to convince Donald to prematurely end his retirement. When he announced he was hanging up his cleats, he told reports that he's burned out but feels complete with everything that he accomplished across his 10-year career. Maybe he'd be more willing to play another year if he didn't win a Super Bowl with the Rams in 2020. We saw Tom Brady quickly retract his retirement in 2022, so it isn't as if Donald's decision is completely set in stone just yet. If Kelce even thinks that there's a possibility that the elite defender has one more season left in him, you can't fault him for trying. In the meantime, time will tell if number 87's recruitment attempt is just fantasy general managing or the start of something bigger. The second story is what the Lamarcus Sneed trade means for the Kansas City Chiefs. The Kansas City Chiefs began planning for the eventual loss of cornerback Lamarcus Sneed 2 years ago when they picked Trent McDuffie in the first round and selected 3 more cornerbacks before the 2022 draft was over. Their plan for life without Sneed was apparent then, but remains to be seen how well they executed it. They might come to regret trading Sneed to the Tennessee Titans for a couple of draft picks. For now, they received something in return as opposed to losing Sneed as a free agent and getting nothing as he walked out the door. The return wasn't as substantial as what the Chiefs got 2 years ago when they traded Tyreek Hill. But as well as the Chiefs have drafted recently, it's not unreasonable to expect they will get at least one productive player from what they received from the Titans, a 7th-round pick this year and a 3rd-rounder next season. Cornerback is now McDuffie's domain, along with the other players they drafted 2 years ago. McDuffie, an all-pro selection last season, looks ready to accept the responsibilities the Chiefs handed to Sneed last season. The others are Joshua Williams, Jalen Watson, and Nazeeh Johnson. Williams, a 4th-round pick in 2022, and Watson, a 7th-rounder that year, have already delivered for the Chiefs. Each played a considerable amount of snaps the past 2 seasons, with Williams in particular late last season looking like he was ready to be a starter. Johnson missed all of last season after tearing his ACL during training camp, but could be the 4th cornerback this year. The Chiefs also have Shamari Connor, a 4th-round pick last season who played some as a slot cornerback as a rookie, and some developmental corners like Nick Jones, a 7th-round pick in 2023. There will likely be times the Chiefs wish they hadn't traded Sneed, who was as steady from down to down as any cornerback in the league. He was often asked to cover the opponent's top wide receiver on at least 65% of the snaps, a league-high 7 times during the regular season, according to NFL Next Gen Stats, and he delivered as well as the Chiefs could have hoped. He also gave them some big plays, none more notable than the fumble he forced against the Ravens' Zay Flowers in this past season's AFC Championship game. In 57 regular season games, Sneed has 10 interceptions and 40 passes defended. He has 1 interception and 7 passes defended in 13 postseason games. But the Chiefs, who are paying Patrick Mahomes and Chris Jones contracts at or near the top of their positional markets, were in no position to afford another one. They saw this coming as far back as 2 years ago. With this move, Kansas City's cornerbacks went from arguably being the team's strongest position to being a solid but young group with no veteran presence. While all-pro cornerback Trent McDuffie is now the headliner, all of his returning teammates have been at their best when slotted into the 3rd cornerback spot, not the 2nd. The third story is an unexpected gesture from Odell Beckham Jr. could bring him closer to the Chiefs of Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce. Odell Beckham Jr. remains one of the most naturally gifted wide receivers in the NFL. However, with his ambitions of winning a championship having been fulfilled, injuries and other scenarios have led him down a path whereby he can choose the team he wants to play for on a year-by-year basis. In 2023, it was the Baltimore Ravens, where he struck up a magical partnership with league MVP Lamar Jackson. It made the Baltimore offense exceedingly potent, although that level of quality deserted them when it mattered in the playoffs. Beckham was on a 1-year contract in Maryland and can now once again choose his destination as a free agent. He is looking for the fine balance between money and a chance of success, and the rumor is that the Kansas City Chiefs could offer him both. It appears that the former New York Giants star is intent on moving to the Chiefs and linking up with Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce. He would add a sensational new element to an offense that is so chameleon-like, you can put virtually anyone in it and it adapts and finds a way to succeed. In 2023, there were concerns about the number of rookie receivers in the team and how they continually dropped passes at key moments in the regular season. However, who was on hand to grab some vital catches in the playoffs? The rookies and underperforming receivers, including Mecole Hardman, who caught the winning pass in the Super Bowl. While some suspect that Beckham's first choice is the Miami Dolphins, where he would live a nice life in the sun and partner up with Tyreek Hill, the receiver has never hidden his wish to one day play for the Chiefs. Mahomes and Rashee Rice both recently posted Instagram pictures which Beckham interacted with, comments mentioning teaming up in the future. The Chiefs are looking to sensibly upgrade at the receiver position, although they have a difficult cap situation to manage. The Kansas City Chiefs could attempt to trade up in the 2024 NFL Draft in order to select former Texas wide receiver Xavier Worthy, Mel Kiper Jr. revealed on Monday. Keep an eye on Worthy and how far he drops down and what the Chiefs do in terms of maybe moving up and getting him, Kiper said in an appearance on First Draft. Worthy followed up an impressive senior season with the Longhorns by making headlines at the scouting combine, breaking the 40-yard dash record as he posted a time of just 4.21 seconds. If he ended up in Kansas City, he would likely draw comparisons to Tyreek Hill as the speedy All-Pro receiver formed a connection with Patrick Mahomes that helped the team earn a Super Bowl victory in 2020.